Women who accompanied Jesus became priests during the sacrament when Jesus instituted the priesthood by saying, "Do this in memory of me." When we look at the gospel text, we suspect so, but we only suspect that there were women who were there, who were serving at the table, who probably had prepared the meal. We know for sure that there were the 12 apostles around the table, but it is not clearly indicated whether or not that women disciples were present. It is neither denied or nor confirmed as to what Jesus admitted or allowed. So how do we know for certain? How do we answer this question which is not in the scripture? Well, by using the other channel of the revelation, which is called Apostolic Tradition. Indeed, when we read the last verse of the Gospel according to St. John, it says this: Jesus did many things which were not put in writing. Besides, we cannot put every one of them by writing. Otherwise, libraries around the world would no longer contain all the books necessary. Only by the tradition of the apostles, the 11 apostles, and then the 12 in place of Judas, Peter, and Paul, who spread the gospel all over in the Western world and spread with other apostles like Thomas, and even in India and in the East. When we look at these churches founded by the apostles, we see the same tradition. The women did not receive the ministerial priesthood. Men were chosen in various ways. At the beginning, they were prudent men, with the commandments that St. Paul given to Timothy, and then by a reform in the West by the Pope St. Gregory the Great, men who were still single, not to the fact that there was any thief from family to family nor to parishes. It would have been passed that on to the son. So we can say that universally this must be a truth, since of all the churches found by the apostles mentioned in, Jesus did not give the ministerial priesthood to women. However, it had been the women disciples who were at the foot of the cross. It had been the women disciples who were faithful, and the men were almost all gone except a young apostle, a priest, John the Evangelist, perhaps because he had no beard, so he was not risking his life. The women may well therefore have been better priests than men. Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus says it: "I feel in my desire to be a priest how I would have carried the Eucharist with love before your people." But she understands that she cannot be a priest, so she chooses a higher vocation. She says, "In the heart of the church, my mother, I will be love." This means, in fact, that if women have not received this priesthood, they are there to receive a much deeper eternal priesthood. They testify at the cross, they testify by their presence at masses, while men often no longer go there of the vacation, of the purpose, of the transient priesthood, of the ministerial priesthood, holiness. Women are co-natural to the gospel since it speaks of love. So it is said that in Christianity, women make 2/3 of the faithful. In Islam, men make 2/3 of the faithful because it is a religion of conquest. So women have a much deeper and eternal priesthood, that of testifying sacramentally by the fact that they are not priests. The goal of the priesthood is holiness, humility, love, a love pushed to the presence in the pain of the cross.